Alright, if you missed part 1 from before, there's a link in the description and a card on the screen if I remember to do that. After that run crashed and burned horribly, I booted up round 2 immediately. Same rules as before, but this time I got thematic from the start. Named me Snack, my rival Fruit, because fruit isn't a snack food, fuck you. As is normal, we're given a Pikachu, this time named Warhead, as symbolism for the revenge tour we're about to go on. As usual, the first rival battle is just trading blows and seeing who gets better luck, but my 3 critical hit Thunder Shocks outpaces Fruit's 2 critical hit tackles, and this time I beat the first rival fight. On routes 1 and 22, they net me a Rattata and a Nidoran male named Dunkaroo and Nerds respectively. Route 2, I kill a Pidgey. Oopsies. And in Viridian Forest, I again get a Caterpie, this time named Crickets, and unlike last time, I go back to take on the optional rival fight. Warhead takes the Spearow out in 2 Thunder Shocks and gets a Thunder Wave off on the Eevee. In an attempt to avoid a crit tackle killing Warhead, I switch to Dunkaroo, who between 2 full paralyses is able to quick attack the Eevee down to 0, winning us both rival fights, which is the exact opposite of the first run. All I can do right now is take on Brock after a little leveling up so that Crickets becomes a Butterfree. But it's a very similar strategy to run number 1. Crickets confusions the Geodude to death, and then the Onix comes out. Confusion confuses it, but it starts up a bide, so I harden to avoid the double damage back, but Onix hurts itself, which resets its bide, and he goes for it again, so I just keep hardening until I see an opening to go for the confusions I need to take it out, and we win our second first gym badge. On the way to Cerulean, both Nuggets, the Spearow, and Poprox, the Geodude, join the team from Route 3 and Mount Moon, and then Nerds evolves into a Nidorino, and we get Porkrind the Mankey on Route 4, and the Bulbasaur in Cerulean before we take on Fruit for the 3rd time. Poprox starts by missing a Rock Throw, but even after Growl, just one of them is able to take out the Spearow. Then the Sandshrew comes in. He woke up today and decided to just be a real dick, it looks like, so he starts sand attacking a bunch. Poprox can get a couple Mega Punches off, but it takes an absolute minute to take the Sandshrew out. I fucking hate Sandshrew. Kiss my ass, dumb little rat thing. Rattata leads with the Tail Whip, and Poprox just can't land a Mega Punch, so I switch over to Nerds, who double kicks Rattata to death, and then 2 more sets of double kicks is able to take out Fruit's Eevee. Immediately after, I reward Nerds with the privilege of becoming a Nidoking. Heading up north, we grab the gifts Charmander and Oddish on Route 24. Then I'm fighting the trainers across Route 25 when disaster strikes. No, it's not the Slowpoke this time. The trainer immediately after the Slowpoke. I'm leading with Dunkaroo against the Nidoran when he misses a Hyper Fang and allows the Nidoran to hit him with a super effective double kick. Now, why did I let this happen? Well, you see, it's because I'm a dumbass and forgot Nidoran would have double kick by this point. I can't keep Rattatas alive to save my goddamn life. Anyway, I head down to Vermilion before Misty to fight everyone, get those levels, catch some Pokemon that'll never see the light of day, head back up. I think I definitely overthought the Misty fight. I led with Seeds to Leech Seed and Growl, swapped to Butterfree to put the Staryu to sleep, and then switched to Pikachu. While Staryu sleeps, the Staryu's health is sapped, and I have Warhead spam double teams until it wakes up. Then I Thunder Wave it so I can finish my double team spam. From here, a Thunder Shock knocks out the Staryu, and while Starmie is able to land a Water Gun, it isn't enough to outrun the Thunder Shocks Warhead is sending out, electrocuting that star and getting us the Cascade Badge. Our next course of action is the SS Anne and the 4th rival fight. Once again, 1 Rock Throw is enough to take out the Spearow immediately, and after a tackle, the Rattata also goes down to just 1 Rock Throw. Stupid fucking Sandshrew comes out. I kill that bastard till it's dead. Fuck you, Sandshrew. Go to hell. Anyway, a series of Rock Throws and tackles knocks the Eevee out, and Poprox swept through the entire rival fight. Surge is definitely the most intimidating gym leader in the game with his entire 1 Raichu. And I even decided to make it that much harder on myself by not evolving Geodude, so I can get Earthquake at level 31 instead of level 36. Anyway, it's a Growl, Rock Throw, Mega Kick, Rock Throw, Miss, Mega Kick, Miss, Rock Throw, X Speed, Rock Throw, Mega Kick, Rock Throw, Crit, Mega Punch, Tackle for the kill, and I take the Thunder Badge from Surge's pathetic, probably small little hands. Get Squirtle, Nidorina, Magnemite, and Zubat from there to Rock Tunnel. Nothing notable goes on in this stretch, and now it's Rival 5 time. Warhead's Thunderbolt leaves Fearow at 1 HP and paralyzed, but the Leer fails, so nothing lost. Quick Attack breathes on it, Fearow dies. Thunderbolt kills Shelder, 2 more killed the Vulpix, and then Sandshrew's stupid little bitch ass makes me switch. Confusion kills the mistake of God himself. I swap the Nidoking, and some double kicking takes out the Eevee for our 5th win against Fruit. Catch a Jigglypuff, get an Eevee, evolve Poprox, blah blah blah. Beat Giovanni. Giovanni, straight up pathetic in this first iteration. Earthquake kills the Onix in 1 hit, the Rhyhorn in 1 hit, and the Persian in 1 hit. Nope, wait, it took 2. That thing really had me sweating there for a minute. Erica last time killed my Butterfree, so now it's time to get my revenge. I remember now that Poison and Bug are super effective against each other in Gen 1. Vera lands a Peck, but Tangela binds her up for a little bit. Once she's released, another Peck still doesn't take out the Tangela because, good lord, Peck sucks. But thankfully so does Tangela, and it just goes for Constrict, so a crit Peck knocks it out. After a Peck, the Deadly Acid once again rears its head, but Nuggets can take it way better than Margarine did last time, and another Peck takes out the Weeping Bell. And 2 more Pecks are enough to send Gloom to the Beyond and win us the Rainbow Badge. I fight everyone around Saffron and Fuchsia, catch a few Pokemon including a Snorlax, and the next stop is the rival in Sylph. The Sylph rival fight went very, very poorly last time, so I can only hope I can play this one a little bit better. Fruit leads with goddamn Sandslash, fucking die, you piece of little fucking trash, god I hate you. And then I switched to Graveler to handle the Ninetales, who lands a burn with an Ember, but Earthquake is still able to take it out in one hit. And switched to Warhead to deal with Cloyster. What I didn't know was that Clamp was gonna do so much frickin' damage. It gets to 3 hits, and a critical hit would have killed anyway on that 3rd. So I have to switch to Seeds, who gets hit with a crit Aurora Beam, but a crit Razor Leaf now takes it out real fast. Nuggets is my best bet to deal with Kadabra, but a crit Psybeam hits her hard. Thankfully she outspeeds, and thanks to Kadabra's piddly little defense, a Drill Peck is able to take it out in one hit. And then it's the big bad Jolteon. On the Switch, Nerds gets hit with a 5-hit Pin Missile, then a 2-hit, and a Body Slam is looking like a 3-hit KO from my end. Due to Jolteon's speed, I was scared of Pin Missile critting, since if one multi-hit move crits, all of them will in Gen 1. So I switched Nerds out, which I really shouldn't have done. Thought Pop Rocks would be a safe bet, but crit Double Kick makes me switch him back out for Venusaur, but Pin Missile is doing way too much. It's apparent I may have to sacrifice someone, and unfortunately Crickets is the one to take the hit. She comes in on a Thunder Shock and dies. I try to get a good Fury attack off with Nuggets, but she only lands at 2, and a Thunder Shock kills her as well. So it's right back to Nerds, who takes a 4-hit Pin Missile, and lands a Body Slam to take out Jolteon and win the 6th rival fight, but it went just as poorly as last time. I blame Sandslash. I grab a hold of the Lapras, and it's time for Giovanni 2. He's still quite pathetic this time. Body Slam lands a Paralysis on Nidorino. Fury Attack does next to nothing, so I just Body Slam him again. And Focus Energy does literally nothing, and it dies the next turn. All Persian is able to do is get a Growl out, but 2 sets of Double Kicks kills the Feline as well, and a Bubble Beam kills the Rhyhorn immediately. The Nidoqueen actually puts up a fight, taking a whole 3 Bubble Beams to knock out. So thrilling. Great content. And from here, aside from catching Pokemon that will never be seen, it's really just a gauntlet of taking on the rest of the gym, so let's just rapid fire the last of those. My strategy for Sabrina is to Amnesia up on Abra with Snorlax to tank hits, and utilize the Abra line's very poor defense to knock him out really fast. What I didn't account for was Abra using Flash, and while Abra goes down after just 1 miss, the Kadabra is another fucking story. Psywave is Psywave, and Headbutt misses, then a crit Psychic does way too much damage, and of course Headbutt has to miss again, so I'm forced to swap out. I go into Malteser the Blastoise, who gets hit with a Psywave, and then Sabrina uses an X-Defend, and I barely bite the thing. Then Kadabra goes for another Psywave, which does nothing. Literally does 0 damage. Psywave fucking sucks, and it's my least favorite move for a reason. Almost as shitty as Sandslash is. I'm going for Surf now, but Kadabra decides to recover and then get a critical hit Psychic and kills my Blastoise. Probably the dumbest death of the run so far. I bring in Warhead to crit kill the Kadabra with Thunderbolt and then make a real risky play. I go for the Thunder Wave, hoping to get a full paralysis off immediately, because if Alakazam hits with anything, Warhead is likely dead. Unfortunately, Alakazam is faster than Warhead, but Sabrina makes the smartest play she possibly could, recovering on full health. Brilliant. Just fucking brilliant. This lets the Thunder Wave get off, and I swap out to Cheetos the Charizard. Sabrina must really believe in her recover strategy, because she just keeps spamming it while Cheetos gets off a Fly and a Slash to get us the Soul Badge. Or is it the March Badge? I never remember the difference between these two. And now for Koga. And this time, I'm just gonna let you watch this brilliant strategical gameplay in real time, so enjoy that. He's literally... Sorry, just 1 second. Hi, I'm editing right now. You might notice in this clip here, the Nidoking is down here in the death area. I've been through this video like 5 times so far. I'm almost done. I'm doing like a couple more passes to add in like the music and stuff. And I'm just now realizing Nidoking died. I completely forgot about that. This was before I even fought Sabrina. I went into the gyms to fight trainers to get the experience and stuff, and this is what happened. I'll show you what happened to Nidoking. See, I put him against a Hypno, which was a really dumb idea, And of course a Psychic from it is going to take Nidoking's HP from there to... So yeah, that's what happened to the Nidoking. It's very fun. I'll let you watch the Koga fight now. Weak only to... He's just weak to fire. Yeah. It survived! Oh my god. Oh my god! Look at that! We did it! That was pathetic. That was what Sabrina was supposed to be. 6 down, 2 to go. Now it's Blaine time. Ninetales leads with a failing tail whip, but a Surf takes out immediately, as does the Rapidash. The Arcanine actually survives on 1 HP and lands a Flamethrower, but that's not enough to topple my own personal Loch Ness Monster, and Peanuts the Lapras is swept through Blaine. And now there's just one last Giovanni fight, so let's see if he can redeem himself, shall we? Dugtrio lands a Sand Attack to start, but Peanuts breaks past that and lands a Surf, taking out the Dugtrio in 1 hit. Persian does her best job and lands a 4-hit Fury Attack, but can't come back from a Surf that also takes her out in 1 hit, and does the same to Nidoqueen. The only reason Nidoking survived a turn was because Peanuts missed a Surf, and Giovanni wastes time at the guard spec, and Nidoking dies the next turn. Another Surf misses on the Rhydon, and she actually gets hit pretty hard from a Rock Slide, but she lands the next one, and obviously Rhydon dies immediately, getting us the 8th and final gym badge. The only thing I respect about Giovanni now is that he doesn't use a fucking Sandslash. Speaking of Sandslash, I kill Fruit's lead Sandslash with 1 crit Razor Leaf, stupid bitch, and then I stay in on the execute because its only attacking move is Solar Beam, so I just let Seeds take it down with a bunch of cuts. Then into Pop Rocks on the Ninetales, who lands a burn with the Ember, but 2 Earthquakes takes it down, and I swap to Warhead, who avoids a clamp and fries Cloyster alive with Thunderbolt. Before I switch Warhead out of there, I let him get a paralysis off on the Kadabra, and go into Snorlax to body slam it, and it dies. Finally, it's that Jolteon again, who paralyzes Snorlax, but through some Pim Missiles and body slams, Cake is able to knock out the Jolteon, opening the way for us to proceed to the Pokemon League. Take a look at the final team. This is what we got to deal with the final 5 fights of this game. My basic strategy for Lorelei is to Amnesia up and sweep through with Cake, and Dewgong leading with a takedown makes it work beautifully, as Lorelei puts her Dewgong to sleep immediately after, letting me get the Amnesias off. A Thunderbolt takes out the Dewgong, then the Cloyster, then the Slowbro. Then the Jinx actually outspeeds and lands an Ice Punch, but thankfully doesn't freeze, so Cake can take her out with a Hyper Beam. Thanks to Gen 1 mechanics, killing with a Hyper Beam means you don't have to recharge, so I can immediately Thunderbolt and take out the Lapras, crushing Lorelei into the ground. Now, Bruno fucking sucks, so this should be an easy one, but Razor Leaf misses off the top, so Onix does land a Rock Slide. Thankfully, Onix also fucking sucks, so it does nothing, and a crit Razor Leaf takes out the Onix. And a crit Razor Leaf takes out the Hitmonchan. And a crit Razor Leaf takes out the Hitmonlee. And a crit Razor Leaf takes out the other Onix. And a crit Razor Leaf doesn't take out the Machamp, so Bruno wastes a turn using Next Event. Then I miss, and he gets a Strength off, but it's still no worries as a crit Razor Leaf kills the Machamp. Bruno just sucks. My strategy for Agatha is to just sweep through her with Peanuts and Psychic, but that gets thrown for a loop immediately when Gengar lands a Paralysis with Flick, and Peanuts can't move, so Gengar gets off a Substitute, but finally gets a Psychic off the next turn to fade the Substitute. And then Agatha switches for some reason to Golbat, and Psychic nearly faints it before Golbat gets off the Supersonic. But an Ice Beam kills the Golbat. The OG Gengar comes back out, and Agatha uses a whole-ass Super Potion, which ain't enough for a Psychic to not kill. Haunter makes the brilliant move to try and Dream Eater a not-sleeping opponent, and Peanuts hits herself in confusion, but is able to break through that the next turn and get fully paralyzed. Finally, she gets a Psychic off and leaves Haunter with 1 HP, and the next turn take it out with the Quick Surf. Arbok comes out with a Screech, but a Psychic kills it immediately, and then the second Gengar also decides to be a genius, and Dream Eater my very awake Lapras, which lets Peanuts hit enough Psychics to knock it out and win the 3rd of the Elite Four battles. After 3 very easy battles, the time has come to have things go very wrong, and Lance is here to do that. We lead with Warhead to kill the Gyarados with 1 Thunderbolt, and then switch to Peanuts on the Dragonair, looking to Ice Beam, but the Dragonair gets a crit Thunderbolt so I need to get her out of there. Dragonair lands a Thunder Wave, and while it deals with the Hyper Beam, I have Cake Amnesia up a few times and kill the Dragonair with an Ice Beam. In a beautiful, beautiful twist of fate, the next Dragonair misses a Wrap, which lets Cake take it out with another Ice Beam. Aerodactyl's able to land a pretty decent Hyper Beam before Ice Beam kills it too. And lastly, it's that big bad Dragonite. Dragonite hits a Blizzard, and while an Ice Beam would easily kill, Cake gets fucking paralyzed. I just have to hope Dragonite goes for Blizzard again, because Cake can take that. Unfortunately, he goes for Hyper Beam, which is enough to kill Cake. I didn't feel comfortable going straight to Peanuts because of Dragonite's Thunder, so I go to Warhead to Thunder Wave and kind of hope for the best. The best doesn't happen, though. Warhead gets the paralysis off, but falls to another Hyper Beam. So long, partner. You got a lot farther than you did last time, though, so I'll take that as a win. Now after that, Lapras is able to come in and revenge kill with an Ice Beam, leaving one last hurdle between us and having revenge on this damn game. And one more hurdle it shall be. Fruit leads with his useless goddamn Sandslash, who dies in one surf from Peanuts, and in comes Alakazam, who decides he needs to recover on full health twice, which lets Peanuts land a Confuse Ray and a couple Ice Beams to take it out. I leave Peanuts in on the Executor because this thing's only grass move is Leech Seed, so we can safely take it down with some Ice Beaming. I wish I had Thunderbolt for the Cloyster, but oh well. You confuse him, he hits himself, a Psychic takes it to the red, it gets off a lame-ass Spike Cannon, and another Psychic takes him out. While Peanuts can definitely take the Ninetales out, I want Pop Rocks in when the Jolteon comes out, so I swap to him while Ninetales lands a Confuse Ray, and then tries to do it again for some fucking reason while Pop Rocks hurts himself, and the cycle repeats until Pop Rocks is able to break through and knock Ninetales out with an Earthquake. And then finally it's that Jolteon one last time. He goes for a Pin Missile, which does fuck all, and an Earthquake takes the Jolteon down, winning us the champion battle and giving us our first on-stream Hardcore Nuzlocke victory. So while we won, it definitely wasn't a perfect Nuzlocke. I'm not an amazing Nuzlocker, I never claimed to be. I don't do min-maxing and tons of research and document reading on these things, because I don't find it fun. I mean, if you do, more power to you, but don't be out there gatekeeping Nuzlocke difficulty and saying that these aren't true Nuzlocks because it's a vanilla game with EVs and stuff. Just, like, don't. Like, grow the fuck up, is my advice on that one. So, but I mean, if you're super passionate about it, go ahead, leave a comment. That's good for the algorithm, apparently. And I need all the help with that thing I can get, so apparently I'm also supposed to ask you to like and subscribe. Aside from that, there's always links in the description to the Twitch channel where these things get streamed. I might stream Scarlet and Violet on launch. I'm not entirely sure about that yet, but we'll see when we get closer to that date what happens with Scarlet and Violet. And if you come away from this video with just one thing, I hope that it is that I fucking hate Sandslash.